Welcome to this episode of Rebelle Revealed. While I was drawing my house, I ran into a few small issues and I needed to clean some things up and I needed to do something with the layers. So all of that I want to show you in this episode. Here's a sketch of the house. Before we start inking, I want to show you something, a few things I'm gonna do. First of all, you may notice the bench is missing and there's a window missing. We'll get to that. The second thing you may notice is that I haven't done all of the bricks. I just picked random bricks here and there to give the impression of bricks, but not to have to draw everything. The other thing you may notice is that the leaves now still parts are getting through it. We're going to fix that in a minute. But let's get to that window first of all. What I want to show you is a little bit extra on the window, not just copying and moving it, but doing some other manipulation on it too. And I have a copy of this window here, which is this one. I want to bring back that house that is under it still, because I need to move that one around. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it. And there you go. Put it over this window. And try to get it as best as I can. And probably you noticed already with your drawing that even if you try to make it smaller and larger, that it won't fit perfectly and that it's slightly off, as it is with this one. So instead of making it smaller and larger, which I have actually done on top, the other feature there is, we've now chosen transform, there is the warp feature. Now the warp feature, you can manipulate it even more than with this transform. The transform only lets you move it wider, higher, smaller, in a certain proportion, but this lets you move it even under angles. And that's what we're going to do. I'm going to leave this on 1. You can add more warp points if you need to, but for this one we're going to do 1. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick this corner and I'm going to move this. And now you can see what is happening. This is all trying to warp into this instead of getting a nice straight line. It's trying to calculate where it would go. So I'm going to move this one to where I want it. And that is right there. It's still not going to fit perfectly, but a lot better. This one, I want to warp to. Fit that on nicely. This I'm going to warp to. I like that. This I'm going to go slightly up and there we go. Now still here, it's not perfect, so I could move this in just a little bit more to make it perfect. Now you see all these blue lines here, these handles, you can move and you can warp that in or out if you need to straighten something or if you need to move it slightly like I'm doing now. See, now it's fitting a lot better and you can manipulate this with the handles, see, and also move it like that. You're getting strange shapes like this. So I don't want that. Just keep it straight. But that gives you some extra to manipulate. I want this slightly to go out. There we go. And I'm going to say, okay. And now my window fits a lot better. But the one thing I shouldn't have done, see, I've got this very obvious warp now. So I'm going to redo this and I'm going to actually warp it again without using the handles, just moving this in a little bit. This a little bit better. Get as close as possible to that without having a too obvious warp. Now let's hide this and now I'm fine with this window sitting here. Now I need to zoom in slightly, get a layer, still got that pencil, right. May wanna extend these bricks slightly. There you go. Now as you can see the quality changes slightly with the warping, but for this that is okay. I'm going to save that. Now I've got all these layers and I still got this issue here. What I'm going to do first with these layers, I'm going to select all the layers except for my leaves. The leaves I have done, the tree and the leaves on the top layer. So I'm going to select all the layers that are visible, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to select Shift on my keyboard and select the last layer I want, so it selects all of the layers that are in here. The next thing, I'm going to do this folder here, and that makes a group of the layers. There you go, the group. Now, I want to keep the original layers and the sketch in case I'm going to change something. So what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to copy this group, and the same as with a layer copying, you use this copy duplicate layer, and now I've got a new group. But what I'm going to do with this group is I'm going to merge all of these layers into one, and for that I'm going to just use the merge, and if you hit that, it just merges that group into one layer. So now you've got that. I also want to keep the original leaves. I don't want to merge them into one. So I'm going to make a copy of those two, and I might as well move those into the group. So I'm going to pick it up, slide it into the group, and now it should go into the group. And I keep this group, I hide the group because I just want to keep this as a reference. Now we're here. All right, now this window is coming through, parts of it through the leaf. So what I'm going to do, I'm making sure I'm on that window. I'm going to just take an eraser, and I'm going to erase the window so that the leaf will become very apparent now. And there you go. Good. See, that looks better. I'm going to do the same with this large leaf here. Now, if you want to, you can, of course, leave the leaves out. You leave the leaves out. That sounds interesting. Just don't draw them. But then you will have to extend these bricks here, and you will have to leave, of course, the window there. We could have chosen that too. Well, I think probably I removed everything that is in the way. Yeah, that is okay. And right here, is there a line still which shouldn't be there? No, there's a leaf over that. And here, there's still part of the window frame that shouldn't be there because there's this large leaf over it. And the rest, I think I did pretty well. And there you go. And the next thing, of course, which I'm going to do, let me view this. I got a line through there. I need to take care of that. I'm going to erase that line. And I should have done that before I merged the layers. I should have taken care of that. There you go. That's better. Bring that back. And so there we go. All right, good. And now that I've erased everything that shouldn't be there, let me check. On top, we're fine with that. Yeah, I'm okay with those. Good. And now that I've done that, I can merge these two layers. I'm just gonna make sure you've got them on top of each other. Otherwise it merges other layers that are in between. Don't want that, it merges this. And there you go. You can merge one layer by hitting that, or by selecting all the layers with the Shift or the Control separate layers and merge them in one go. And now my drawing is ready to be inked. But the inking I'm gonna leave until the next episode of Rebelle Revealed. So now I've shown you how to clean up the drawing a little bit, how you merge layers, how you can warp certain elements to fit even better. And you can take this, yes, a few more steps like we've done, but we might do that in the future. Perhaps we're gonna encounter other things in the drawing that need some more special attention. All right, enough special attention for this drawing. In the next episode, I'm gonna ink this.